This week was supposed to be all about exploring the VIC High Country. Mountain towns, stunning views, epic camps, and it was, but behind the scenes we were working on something massive, planning our new tow rig build.
Can't believe I'm saying this, but we're on the move again today.
Between phone calls, camp moves and chasing Starlink reception just to stay on top of it all, this turned out to be one of our most chaotic weeks on the road yet.
Drag the bum of the van down here nice and gently.
So in this video, we're taking you from horse rides to mountain summits, backtracks to major four-wheel drive decisions. Buckle up.
I don't think we're going to have this problem in our new rig cut, Nick.
How sick is this?
We can see all of the Australian Alps.
Just quickly before we jump into the episode, just want to let you guys know that we're back in sunny Queensland because next week we'll be at the Queensland Caravan and Camping Super Show with Zone RV.
So it's on the 4th to the 8th of June. We're going to be there every day on the Zone RV stand, so can't wait to see you there. Check out our socials for more information and let's jump into the episode.
It's a new day and we are leaving Pineapple Flat Campground. We sort of started this episode with the intention of heading north through the bush here. We saved ourselves a massive nightmare by going for a little bit of a recce drive yesterday just to see if it was worth pulling the caravan through there, seeing the condition of the track, and it was pretty bad. Reckon we get the caravan through here, Dale?
No.
We've definitely saved ourselves a lot of headaches not trying to pull the caravan through. So to exit Pineapple Flat Campground where we've camped, beautiful spot, got here in the last episode, we're going to head back out the same way that we come. There is a pretty gnarly entry/exit through the creek here, so I've just aired the airbags right up on the caravan just to give us heaps of ground clearance because I'm a little bit worried about hitting the back end of the caravan just with the departure angle of this slope. And then we will head further into the high country, which if the first episode was anything to go off, we are in for a real treat. Let's go.
We didn't know it yet, but this week of travel was about to be our most restless yet. With a new vehicle on its way and all the organisation and coordination that comes along with the build, we found ourselves completely out of our groove and we did a shocking job of documenting the next few days. We were desperate for a groceries top-up, so we headed north to the nearest Woolies, getting slightly distracted by all the Ned Kelly history in the area. The next day, we moved on from the town of Benalla and headed east where we found ourselves needing to catch up on some work. And where better to keep yourself focused than in a free camp 100 metres from a winery. Moving on from Millewa, we headed through the highly recommended town of Beechworth, sampling a few treats along the way. We started to make our way back towards the mountains and camped out the night at Myrtleford, catching up with some family friends, Paul and Sue, while also getting treated to a lovely sunset. Now back to present day where we were desperate for some stability, and thankfully Patsy had the foresight to pick up the camera, so now I have a bit of a storyline to work with.
Good morning. We've had a beautiful night here at the Myrtleford Rec Reserve with our friends Paul and Sue. It was so great to catch up with them again. It's so nice seeing familiar faces when you're traveling around Australia. But yeah, this is a cool little spot in the high country area to catch up. It was $30 a night here, but we're on the move again today. I feel like every day we have been moving lately, and that's because we have. We definitely prefer to just find a spot to just plonk ourselves and kind of like day trip from there. So that's the plan for today. We were looking at the map this morning and we think we're going to head towards like the Mount Buffalo area, try and find a camp near there, a nice little like bush style camp, and then use that as a base to explore like Mount Buffalo, Mount Beauty, Bright, anything else in the area. So not exactly sure which of those camps we'll end up at, but yeah, that's the plan for today. We're just going to top up on water and do all the fun things, and then we'll be on our way.
A little bit of a creek crossing here, but I'm just going to double check the clearance here. Heaps of room. So there's a bit of a rock step there, and we just got to drag the bum of the van down here nice and gently. But what I'll do, just for a little bit of extra safety, is I'll raise the airbags up a little bit, so that'll just give us that little bit extra ground clearance just to be safe and sorry. Been using this feature quite a fair bit up in the high country. Been quite handy. There we go, jacked right up. Wouldn't run down the road at this pressure, but it's okay to get through obstacles like this. All right, we snuck through the little river crossing there unscathed. Definitely need a bit of ground clearance if you're going to bring your van in here, but beautiful spot right here by the river. And I'm just sort of thinking I need to maximize solar input, because it's starting to get into that, close to that winter solstice, so the sun's not so high in the sky, we're not making as much power during the day, so need to maximize solar, and we need to make sure that we have Starlink, because got a bit going on at the moment. We've got a lot in the works, a lot of exciting things happening that we need reception for. Lots of internet. This campsite looks good, we just need to work out the best position. Campsite looks mint, so we'll try and sneak up in here, but that's all dependent on where the sun's going to be and if we can get Starlink here. Trees. We're rocking and rolling today.
We're 40.
A bit of an impromptu four-wheel drive into the town of Bright. We got to camp a little bit late, so we didn't really have time to go up to Mount Buffalo, which is really what we wanted to do today. So we'll save that for tomorrow. And Paul said, oh, I want to go for a 4B. So we thought, well, let's go into the town of Bright. So we're just following a couple of roads. I don't know what these roads are here for, but they're either for logging or for fire management or something. Yeah, copy. Yeah, the roads out here, there seems to be such an extensive network of roads. You can sort of link valleys and mountains together just by driving, and I think that's what makes the high country so special.
They're not really normal roads, they're like tracks.
Oh yeah, definitely a four-wheel drive track, pretty rocky, pretty rolly. You don't go anywhere fast, you're sort of doing steep. 10 or 20 k's an hour the whole time. So to get into the town of Bright, it probably would have been 20 minutes from, or 30 minutes from where we're camped. We're taking an hour, maybe an hour and a half, but yeah, we're up here on the mountains. There's beautiful views out there into the valleys either side. We're just running along this ridge line. We're on the Demon Ridge right now, and we're just going to head north now into the town of Bright. This is steep, mate. Like I got a seatbelt on, my head would be through the windscreen. Yes.
Well, after a little run through the bush, we ended up in the picturesque little town of Bright. We had a quick look around this high country gem, which seemed to be a very popular holiday spot on this particular weekend. There are an abundance of cafes and restaurants to keep you occupied in town, and an extensive network of mountain biking trails for the adrenaline junkies, which I thoroughly enjoyed to myself late one afternoon.
Okay, this is a public service announcement that tomorrow, the 26th of May, you'll be able to get 10% cash back on any trips you book through booking.com if you use the Shopback app. Now, this is exactly what we did when we booked our trip to Canada later this year, and we saved a whopping $491 on our accommodation alone. I'll show you exactly how in a second, but if you're not already using Shopback, it's a cashback app that helps you save money by earning real cashback on your purchases. So it's really easy to use. You just download the Shopback app, you go on there, you see all the brands, there are like over 4,000 of them. You click on the brand that you want to shop from, and then it takes you to their website. You purchase from their website, and then a percentage of your purchase will go back into your Shopback account as cashback. Then that money can be withdrawn into your bank account, or you can put it towards future purchases on Shopback. So this is how much cashback we've gotten back through Shopback in just the last few months alone. You can see on there our Canada accommodation cashback, which is just such a massive saving and will help with our trip budget so much. So tomorrow only, on the 26th of May, you can get 10% cash back on booking.com through Shopback. So if you have any trips coming up, be sure to do them tomorrow while that 10% cashback offer is running. And if you are a new user to Shopback, you can use the code GEDAY20 and a $20 cashback bonus will be added to your account once you accumulate your first $10 in cashback. Or you can just click the QR code or the link in the description to have that code automatically applied. It's been so great to get messages from you guys too, letting us know that you've been using Shopback to save heaps of money. So happy saving, and let's get back to the episode.
Good morning and welcome from Mount Buffalo. Have we got this chalet behind us here? An awesome piece of Victorian skiing history.
Yeah, this was like the start or one of the first places of recreational skiing in Australia.
Amazing. This building behind us here, although not in this iteration, there's been quite a lot of additions over the years, but it was built in like the 1910s, and they used to have buses run up here. I imagine it would have been quite a costly holiday experience. Just looking at the interior of the building, it looks very fancy. Can't go in at the moment because they're working on it, but it's such a grand building, just sitting up here 110 years on, just looking out over Mount Buffalo. There's quite a lot to do in Mount Buffalo National Park today. We at least want to hit the summit, don't we, Patsy? Yeah. But also just magnificent views. We're over 1,000 meters above sea level right now, so we can see all around the VIC High Country. It's awesome. It is cold, but thankfully weather again turning it on for us. Beautiful. Mate, the weather in Victoria has been so good to us. We've done multiple mountain summits and the weather has just been like hundreds of kilometers of visibility. This is epic. Imagine how many days a year this place is shrouded in cloud and fog and sleet. Not today, baby. We're I don't know, about 1,600. We're about to go 100 meters up that way. I think the summit of Mount Buffalo is about 1,720. So we're going up the Horn track, up the Horn. This joint is bloody epic. The panoramic views from up here, you just look out, as far as the eye can see, it's nothing but trees and mountains. How sick is this?
We can see all of the Australian Alps.
See pretty much all the Australian Alps. Like they've even got these awesome like infographic signs where you can make out exactly where certain peaks are, like Mount Emu, Mount Bogong, Mount Kosciuszko even you can see from here. The smoke in the valley here, because they're doing some burn-offs at the moment, sort of clouds it up a little bit. The visibility is not as good as what it would be if there wasn't smoke in the air, but it's still enough to make out those massive mountains in the distance. And Patsy, this is the next few months behind us. This is what we have to look forward to. Like we haven't even left the VIC High Country and I already can't wait to come back. So sick. Oh.
Imagine it with snow on all of these.
Could you imagine? This would all be snow up here too, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely.
Unreal, like the switchback roads and like it's such a typical Australian alpine, like the vegetation and landscape. Yeah, the vegetation and everything. I just love Australia so much. There's so many varying landscapes you can enjoy, and this would have to be one of my favorites, the alpine area. Something special, hey? Cool, huh? Look at that. $185. Booking horse riding. Giddy up.
Cheers to all the legends who shouted us a beer this week. You guys go the extra mile to support the channel, and for that we are very grateful.
Good morning from a very brisk Victorian morning. Can't believe I'm saying this, but we're on the move again today. This is the 5th time we're gonna move camps in this episode, which is just crazy. But as you can see behind me here, last night a horde of, I think, hunters rocked up here at this free camp. So there was probably a total of 3 to 5 people at this camp the last few nights, and last night there's probably 100 people here and they're all gone off in the bush hunting. So we're going to move on because I reckon it's probably going to get a little bit rowdy here tonight. And we've booked a park that's actually closer to all the things that we want to do in the coming days. So unfortunately we're on the move again, but I think that just sort of fits the vibe of this episode.
Without the easy setup and pack down of our van, moving this often in a week's period would be much more of a chore than it actually is. Our camping setup is very basic, and usually it's just a matter of packing a few chairs and the Starlink away. Patsy makes sure the inside is sorted and we then hook up the van. In all, it takes us around 10 minutes and we are ready to roll.
Can't feel my hands.
I always like to check my indicators before we take off just to make sure everything's working, and on my surprise this morning this one wasn't. With a quick wiggle of the trailer plug, we were back in action, and it was just a matter of rolling the awning in and we were ready to go. Today's travels would see us leave the Buckland Valley and head east into the Kiewa Valley, travelling up through Porepunkah and Bright. We had a steep run over the range to contend with before being treated to the epic views of Mount Bogong, which just so happens to be Victoria's tallest peak.
We're climbing up Porepunkah Gap Road right now, heading over.
Slow vehicle turnout.
Mate, every slow vehicle turnout we're heading over from Bright to Mount Beauty. It's a bit of a mountain here. And I'm back to first gear, just plotting along 20 kilometres an hour.
It's a steep climb.
Slowly but surely. I don't think we're going to have this problem in our new rig, Patsy. Just between you and I.
Slow vehicles, thank you.
You're welcome. This looks ritzy.
Fancy.
Very fancy. We've been free camping for like the last 2 weeks, so this will be very nice, Patsy. How good are these little riverfront camps down here on the water? Beautiful fresh creek to swim in. They're all booked out along here, so we just got this one up here underneath the bushes, but that's a pretty sweet little campground. Right.
Look at that! We are going horse riding this morning. I'm very excited. Before we came to the high country, I had a recommendation from my nan who's done so much traveling around Australia, and she loves the high country, and she said when you go there you have to do a horse riding tour. It would just be such a cool way to see the high country, and so that's what we're doing today. We are at Bogong.
I have no idea, Patsy. You're the one that booked it. I'm just here to show people how to ride.
Old mate who's been calling himself the boy from Snowy River the last few days in the lead up to this.
Just don't say that out loud when we
confident.
talk to these people.
No, but yeah, we booked a half-day trail ride where apparently we're going to be doing some trotting and some cantering. It did say if you're a novice you need to be willing to give these trots and canters a go, so I need to fake confidence going in this morning because I am actually a little bit scared that I won't be able to do it properly. But anyway, I think it's going to be really cool. We're going to go into the Alpine National Park and apparently like over some river crossings and high plains and whatnot.
Get the full experience.
Yeah.
4 hours on horseback. Gonna have sore bums and stuff.
That's definitely going to be today's workout. But anyway, we're here now and it's a chilly but beautiful day.
Before we knew it, we're getting kitted up and acquainted with our horses for the day. I was dealt a little calmer here, as when we arrived there was clearly one very boisterous horse in the yard that was giving the handlers a little bit of grief. That horse's name was Cleve, a young racehorse, and he was to be my ride for the day. From the get-go, Cleve did not like taking directions from a chump like me, and he proceeded to give me a very interesting 4 hours in the saddle. The big fella loved to race ahead of the other horses, rowing himself into bushes and branches with complete disregard for his passenger, and he was such a character. Now, Patsy's horse Cobb could not be any different to young Cleve. Alright, so we've got Cleve here, having a bit of a munch. He's a big boy. Who have you got, Patsy? Colby. That's a nice looking horse. You ready to rock? Yeah. Patsy and Cobb just moseyed along at the back of the pack without a care in the world for urgency. Alas, I just learned that word. It was a very enjoyable ride, trotting through picturesque farmland in the valley, crossing over a few creeks and getting into the Alpine National Park a bit. It really did make us feel like cowboys and cowgirls for a few hours, and yes, we were extremely sore the next few days.
Fits our personality. Pat's horse has been a bit.
Well, we've been here for about 4 or 5 days at Mount Beauty. It's been a bit of a whirlwind though, because we've been organising a new build and we've spent most of our days on the phone inside the caravan, working on the laptops, trying to get everything coordinated. It's been a bit of a process, but it looks like it's all behind us now. So everything seems to be in place and we can enjoy our last week of the Victorian High Country before we have to head back home and take on this new build, which is very exciting. So thank you guys for sticking with us. Hope you enjoyed this episode. It was a bit of a hodgepodge of camps and a fair bit of travel through the Victorian High Country. Such a massive place, so sort of caught us off guard, and you know, that's just travel, I guess. When you're traveling new places, it's just part and parcel. But anyway, thank you for watching. We really appreciate you tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.